Paul and Mike Tyson have been officially blacklisted from all future boxing events, a move many see as justified due to the damage they've done to boxing's integrity. Their actions have finally caught up with them, as the court of public opinion has handed down its harshest verdict. Remember those training clips that conveniently surfaced? They showed Mike Tyson looking like a powerhouse, even injuring his coach during sparring. But as it turns out, those clips were carefully staged to convince fans that Mike still had his legendary strength. The reality, however, was far less impressive, leaving many feeling deceived. Were met with a scripted spectacle. Jake's antics were no shock. He's long treated boxing as a joke. But Mike? He was meant to restore respect to the sport. Instead, he joined Jake in tarnishing its legacy. Was it worth breaking fans' trust and betraying the very sport he claimed to love?
Fight was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X a few days ago. Now this script has went viral. Let's see how accurate it was. The opening bell rings, Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, which actually happened. As soon as the bell went, Mike Tyson came out with that head movement, pushing forward. Immediately he stalks forward with his signature bob and weave.
Mike Tyson, once a symbol of grit and honor, has disappointed fans in unimaginable ways. He didn't just fall short in the ring, he betrayed the integrity of boxing. After fueling excitement with leaked training clips showcasing his supposed strength, he sold out. Jake Paul, as expected, turned the sport into a cheap reality show. But this time, the stakes were higher. Together with his partner in crime, Nisa Biden, they orchestrated an event that mocked everything boxing stands for. What could have been a celebration of the sport's legacy will instead be remembered as one of its most disgraceful moments.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong. You guys know the whole story about Shark Week, and if you don't, I begged him not to do the Roy Jones fight. You're too old. I love you. I don't want to see you take any more punishment. So I set him up on Shark Week. He got paid good money, and he's like, so he almost flipped out the last day and was ready to kill everybody on the boat because he had to jump in with all these sharks again in the middle of Florida. And he's like, asshole says that he cares about me and everything else. I've been fighting since I was 12, and he throws me in the ocean with a bunch of sharks. He was right about that too. But he basically said, I told him, Mike, you're basically 60 years old. And he's like, you honestly think this kid's gonna do anything to me?
Reports suggest Jake Paul bribed Mike Tyson to follow a pre-planned script, prioritizing views and profits over authenticity. The result? Infamy. Both are now blacklisted by major boxing organizations. Jake's career ended before it truly began, while Mike tarnished his legacy. All for what? A fleeting spectacle that betrayed the sport's soul.
We are upset over the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, with some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money. Allegedly, there's this script that got leaked showing how the fight was supposed to go down between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. This was actually covered by World Star Hip Hop. So let's read this alleged script and see how the fight was supposed to go down. So round one was supposed to go like this. The opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style.
Let's face it, Jake Paul was never a true boxer. He built his image by cherry-picking opponents. NBA players, retired MMA fighters, and others well past their prime. He avoided facing boxers his age or skill level, knowing it would reveal his limitations. Fame, not the sport, was always his priority. But with this scripted fight, Jake overplayed his hand. He sought glory without effort, accolades without risk. Now the boxing world has turned its back on him, and even his most loyal supporters can't defend him. His dream of legitimacy as an athlete is officially dead. While Jake's antics were expected, Mike Tyson's betrayal cuts deeper. Once a symbol of hard work and resilience, Mike's recent financial struggles seem to have driven him to desperation. Trading his legacy for a paycheck, he sold out the sport and betrayed millions of fans. Mike didn't just lose respect. He destroyed everything he once represented.
Like I expected it to be.
What is your assessment of Jake Paul, the boxer?
A very good fighter.
Do you think he deserves respect from the public?
Absolutely.
Hey, that was a good slap. I like that. Thank you.
In the end, this fight was a lose-lose for everyone. Jake's boxing career is finished, and Mike's reputation lies in ruins. They had the chance to create something meaningful, but chose to exploit fans for quick profits. The boxing world deserves better, and it's now evident that neither Jake nor Mike has a place in it anymore.
Mike Tyson, people talk to. People there's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation.
The so-called blacklisting of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson isn't as definitive as it seems. Boxing doesn't operate under a single governing body, so blacklist here refers to a collective resistance from promoters and venues. For Jake, this means fewer chances to secure big-name fights or access prestigious venues. For Tyson, it's about certain opportunities quietly vanishing, doors that were once wide open for a living legend. But there's a glaring issue: money. Both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are massive revenue generators. Jake's fights have reportedly pulled in around $75 million in pay-per-view sales, while Tyson's exhibitions consistently rank among the top-grossing events. Numbers like these are hard for the industry to ignore. Boxing, after all, is as much about business as it is about sport. So why would the industry distance itself from two of its biggest earners? The answer may lie in the growing demand for authenticity, a value even money can't replace.
At any point did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. You know, I wanted to give the fans a show.
Some insiders argue this isn't just about tradition or credibility. It's about power. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson operate outside boxing's traditional hierarchy. Jake's most valuable promotions, which he co-founded, gives him unmatched control over his career, bypassing major promoters like Bob Arum or Eddie Hearn. That independence makes him a disruptor. Tyson, on the other hand, has transcended the sport entirely. His name is now bigger than boxing itself. He doesn't need boxing anymore, but the sport still needs him. Fans are divided. Jake Paul's younger audience thrives on the drama he brings. His flashy entrances, outrageous press conferences, and social media antics make him more than a fighter. He's a showman. Critics, however, see him as emblematic of a deeper issue: the commercialization of boxing at the cost of its authenticity. To them, Jake isn't enhancing the sport, but turning it into a spectacle, diluting its storied legacy.
I don't know what pleasure you can take from beating an old Mike Tyson.
I believe he actually won the first 2 rounds. Jake Paul probably won the rest of them. Mike Tyson's legs were gone, man. They were gone. And I believe Ryan, I got to give Ryan credit on this one, man. Because Ryan from Sports Wars, he did say that there would be like a no-knock.
Tyson's situation is more complex. Most fans revere him for his contributions to the sport, but his recent activities have sparked debate. Some see his exhibitions as a fun way to keep his legacy alive, while others worry they diminish his achievements. Watching a 57-year-old Tyson trade punches with YouTubers might be entertaining, but it hardly reflects the glory of his championship days. Despite their differences, Jake Paul and Mike Tyson share a common thread. They challenge boxing's establishment. Jake is forging his own path, proving that a YouTuber can transition into a serious fighter. Tyson, meanwhile, is redefining what it means to be a boxer after one's prime. Both have shown that the sport doesn't have to stick to old rules. Yet, the boxing world resists these changes. Clinging to tradition, it struggles with declining viewership and a lack of new stars. By sidelining Jake and Tyson, the industry risks alienating the very audiences that could revitalize it.
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. What do we got? Mike Tyson is 58 years old. Jake Paul is 27. 31-year difference. Most of us wanted to see Mike Tyson win. The nostalgia, we rock with Mike. A lot of us support Mike. Jake Paul, you know, the famous YouTuber that stepped into boxing.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson may be blacklisted, but they're not going anywhere. Jake could move to MMA, teasing a fight with the Professional Fighters League, PFL. Tyson, still a cultural icon, has branched into TV and a growing cannabis brand. They don't need boxing's approval. They've built empires beyond the ring. The blacklist might actually work in their favor, reinforcing their image as outsiders and disruptors who refuse to play by the rules. Love them or hate